Welcome to Start Homeschooling, where confident homeschooling thrives. Homeschooling is not school at home, it's a way of life. We encourage, empower, and equip you to cultivate the authentic homeschool lifestyle where freedom and relationships rule.
Hey friend, welcome to Statheros Homeschooling. I'm Michelle and I'm here with Colleen, Stacy, and Kim. We're back after talking about some of our regrets, and now we want to encourage you with some of our joys and how we continue homeschooling even when it's hard, finding some motivation. We may be a little bit all over the place, but mostly we're going to talk about the delight and joy of homeschooling. And may you be encouraged as you listen to what we've been through and understand that even in the hard times, you can still do it. So, Kim, what would you say your greatest joy in homeschooling has been?
Yeah, it's hard to narrow down, isn't it? There's so many. I think obviously we all think about the relationships that we've built with each of our kids. That's probably the biggest joy that we can all talk about, that we can all share, and seeing them get along. And beyond that, to the academics, seeing them succeed, seeing everything come together. In the beginning, you're saying, okay, well, I saw my friend do this. I saw my cousin do this. I know it's a thing. I've seen people succeed, but can I do it? And then once you get into it, and all of a sudden you're realizing maybe I can do this. A lot of people went through this during the pandemic. I heard a lot of people saying, oh boy, can I really do this? And some, to be fair, it was not a good fit. But others, when they realized the freedom that they had and that they could do more than really the school system was doing, and they could lean into that and really make their kids shine and grow at their pace. It was just phenomenal. And they ended up saying, wow, I can do this. And that happened with our family. I gave us the grace, especially in the lower grades, to say at the end of every year, do we still want to keep doing this? Is this still a good fit for our family? And just to be fair with all of us, is it a good fit for this child? Is it for that child, for our family situation? And when I went through and I factored in all of the different areas, I always kept coming back to the same answer. Yeah. Of all of our choices, by far, this is the one that brings us the most joy and peace and contentment, satisfaction, and really the courage to go on and move forward. And then each year, as I did that, I would look back and think about where did we succeed in all of the different areas, and seeing it actually play out academically really well was definitely joyful, and it motivated us to keep going. Obviously, something's going well, you want to keep going with it. Even the things that weren't so good, I felt like I know what happened and here's how I'm going to fix it. And that keeps it fun and interesting to move forward like that. And then as they got older, especially in their high school years, it was fun. Your kids start getting opinions, right? And so you talk to them and you have these great conversations. What do you want to do with your life? Who do you want to be? What big things in life do you want to tackle? What do you want to do for the Lord? What do you want to do? All these things as you work through those conversations, that's very joyful and motivational. All of a sudden you think, oh, so this is the path I think we need to take. Something you would never have guessed when they were in fourth grade. All of a sudden in 10th grade, it's like, oh boy, this is where we're going to go with this. And you start heading down that path. And every year you see them succeeding more and more and more until finally they're launched and you did it. It's like you trust the process and you look back and you're like, wow, all these other homeschool pioneers and people that went before me or is walking alongside me, they said, do this. I followed the program, I followed the path, and it's actually working out. And so I think just enjoying the journey is probably what it all comes down to. Enjoying your kids, your family, the choices you have, the freedom that you have. That is just what brings joy.
Do you have any moment that stands out more than another about one of those moments that you treasure deeply in your heart?
Oh my goodness, that's a tough one. I think there are several, but they all have to do with having the heart to heart talks with our kids one on one when they said they would come up to me really randomly and say, "Mom, I'm so glad you homeschooled me because blah, blah, blah," and actually literally thank me for doing it. And it always seemed to come out of the blue. And those were, I know I journaled them somewhere, but those are the ones that really get you. And you're like, oh, phew, it's good. Okay. And that keeps you going, going forward. Those are those special moments.
That's beautiful. Stacy, what keeps you coming back year after year to homeschool? What's your joy and your motivation? How do you make it fun?
I think the biggest joy, as we've said over and over here, is relationship. And now that my kids are older, I feel like the foundation that I built in the years when they were little and we stayed home and we homeschooled, now I'm reaping the benefits of that in our relationship. And yeah, there were benefits in the younger years too, of course. All the hugs and kisses and snuggles and books during the day and playground trips and field trips and co-ops, right? All the things that we got to do together. But now it's different. Now, as they're approaching adulthood, we have a relationship that I don't think we would have had without the quantity of time that we spent together. Quality time is great, but there's no replacement for quantity time, I think. And with homeschooling, you get both. You get quality and quantity. And I wanted to be there for the aha moments. I wanted to be there for the love of learning moments when they decided, like my oldest daughter really loves ancient Roman times and Greek mythology. And even to this day and in college, the book she's reading. And I was there when she got that love of learning of Romance and Greek mythology and Norse mythology and all the things. So I love that I was a part of it and that I was able to help her find something that I didn't really know a lot about, but I saw that she was really interested in it. And so we got to build that. And I don't think she would have gotten that in an institutional school setting where you just follow the curriculum.
So when it was hard, what encouraged you to keep going? Or sometimes it's not what encourages you, what motivates you to want to stay the course? Can be one or the other.
At the beginning, there were years, and Colleen and I have talked about this, in the springtime, man, going to school crossed my mind over and over and over. I don't know if I can do this another year. One year we went to tour the local Christian school, and I walked away from that just going, yeah, homeschooling's hard, but so is private school, so is public school. They're all hard. So why would I give up the hard I have for a different hard, right? Just push through the hard I know, the hard I have. And I also know the benefits that brought. And I think we all get tired. And in the springtime, it used to be, I just used to get tired, right? A long winter, a long time of teaching how to read again, or teaching your math facts again, and we just maybe get bored. So I think for me, knowing that what I was doing really mattered to them, to our family, to their future family, their future children, and that no matter what, as long as I showed up myself authentically, that's what my kids needed. They didn't need a professional more than they needed their mom. I just had to reorient my thinking into, yeah, this is hard, but everything in life is hard. And especially everything in life worth doing is hard.
That's great. Thank you. Colleen, how do you want to start this? Do you want to talk about your joy? What keeps you motivated?
My joy is heavy relational. Academics are nice, but my joy is when I see my boys, I have 3 boys, when I see them laughing together and talking together and having close relationships. They're friends. It's not just that they can hang out and have a good time, but they're genuinely friends. And I love that because they had all the time together. I love that when something goes on, they're like, I got to tell mom. That when they look back, when I look back over, their really K through 12 years, it's memories of us being together. It's not memories of them, being at a school all day long or being on playground with other kids or being in classes with other kids. It's us together. And that's huge for me. I think one of the biggest deals to me, and this might sound so stupid, but it's when I tell my kids, when I tell them that I love them, one of the best things I can hear is not, I love you too, mom, but it's when they say, I know, mom. And like,
Mm.
they know that I love them. And that to me is my deepest joy because of the time that we've had together. As far as how I stayed motivated when things got hard, it was really just grit and determination because the alternatives were not an option.
Mhm.
I thought they were. Like, I would doubt myself. It's not that I didn't have doubt. I did. And in fact, some of the schools that Stacy went on tours of, I did too in the exact same years. And I kind of want to say, I feel like maybe we even went on one together or like we were at one at the same day. I know that a couple of them, they overlapped. And I was just doubting myself and, am I doing the right thing? Is this what I should be doing? Is that really the best for them? And then I'd go on some of these tours of these schools and it's like, ugh, seeing them crammed in a classroom and all these desks all mushed together with all these other kids all day long. And in fact, my oldest, he did go to middle school one time. I forget which grade. It was 6th through 8th. I don't remember which year it was. And we lasted like 6 days. And one of them was a long weekend. So I don't even think it was a full 6. I think it was like a 6 from the day I enrolled him. He went in maybe the next day or the day after that. He maybe attended 2 or 3 days and we were like, forget this nonsense. This is crazy. And, I just went in and I said, this isn't the best for him. It's nice, but it's not the best. Welcome to Start Homeschooling, where confidence replaces confusion and you're never left to figure it out alone. Our umbrella school, Start Academy, fulfills legal reporting requirements for Colorado families, and we offer annual homeschool evaluations in Colorado and Florida. But that's just one part of what we do. We also offer personalized coaching, official transcripts, high school planning help, and detailed transcript reviews so your student stays on track and set up for success. Do you need tools to stay organized? Our shop is stocked with homeschool essentials like planners, attendance logs, course description guides, report cards, unit studies, and even creative printables for younger learners. Whether you need parent training support, guidance on how to plan, ideas on how to teach, scheduling assistance, help with course planning, high school help, or just peace of mind that you're doing it right, we are here for you. Visit the show notes for more information and let us walk alongside you. They looked at me like I was crazy, So it was not an option to do something else because in my heart and in my soul, I knew that this is what we were supposed to be doing. And I can't say that I was as fair about it as Kim was because I didn't reevaluate every year. I'm not now. We have my middle has a year left and my youngest has 2 years left. And I think it came up a couple weeks ago. You want to just go to this school because they are part-time in the high school for the JROTC program. And I said, maybe they said it, but we were like, yeah, right. It's not even for us. Don't even talk about it. So I don't know. There are simple answers for me, but they run deep.
They do run deep. And the underlying current here is relationship, the biggest
Definitely.
joy and the biggest motivator.
Yeah. What about you, Michelle?
I think it matches all what you guys are saying as well. The biggest joy is that I know my children, and like you've all said, they know one another. With 5 kids with a 12.5-year age difference, my youngest actually knows who her older brother is, her oldest brother is, because they were home. Granted, she was 5 when he joined the military, so there were some shifts, but she had that foundation of knowing she was loved and valued by him. And so that was priceless to have that time together, to gather, to read together, to watch the sparks suddenly start flying behind their eyes of like, oh, wait, I get it now. It's so fun to watch kids become who they were created to be. So I
Yeah.
think that's the beauty and the biggest joy. And I love my kids. I love watching, and we all do. We love watching them in each stage as they develop, as they mature, as they grow, as they go through hard times and real question themselves. But it gets back to this is why we did it, so that they do come back and say, I need to talk to mom.
Mhm.
I need to ask her advice, or I need her to pray for me. I need something. They know they have the connection. So I think that's the greatest joy, the greatest motivation is to sit down and look at your kid and go, yeah, I actually want the best for them. It may mean I still have to do the hard, but like Stacy said, everything worth doing in life is actually hard. I think it's harder in the beginning to
Yes.
plug to get through that hard, but when you know the benefits and when you know the joy that will come, it gets easier because
Mhm.
you've learned how to walk through the hard.
Definitely. And you're doing it on your own terms.
Yes.
Yes, we all like our freedom, don't we?
Yeah.
Mm.
Our independence, little that's a big deal for us. Stacey, I asked Kim this, and Colleen, think of it as well. Is do you have one of those moments that just warms your heart that you do you pull it out and look at it again over and over of like, yes, this was one of those moments that reminded me that it was all worth it.
I think there's a lot of little moments throughout the tapestry of homeschooling, but one year that comes to mind is when my daughter was just in middle school, junior high, and starting to venture out more, right? As she started going to this youth group. And it would late, and if she was public schooled, would be coming home and it'd be 9:30 and hurry up and go to bed and get up in the morning, rush off to school. Well, because we homeschooled, we would come home. It's 9:30. When do teenagers want to talk? Late.
Good.
Talk at night. Right?
Yeah.
And we would talk until midnight most Wednesdays. Come home from youth group and just talk, sit there. And I knew I didn't have the pressure of she has to get up at 6 or I have to get up at 6. And it was just looking back at that year, she was in that group for 1 year. We got so much closer and we talked about everything. And then we would be like, oh, we got to go to bed. So we go, take a shower, wash faces, whatever. And then we come back and talk some more. And then we'd end up in her bedroom just talking until we fell asleep. So it was just wonderful growth year that we couldn't have had if we didn't have that time. Love that.
That's beautiful. Colleen, do you have one of those heart moments?
Oh gosh. I don't have one. I have
Correct.
so many just,
Right?
and it's all those moments, just like what Stacey was talking about, when it's just the ability to take time out of whatever you're doing because you have the flexibility in your schedule and have those important heart talks. Whether you're hanging out in the living room and you're reading books and you start talking about something, or when it's tougher and you're like, you know what, let's go for a drive. Let's go get a coffee. Let's go have a talk. Let's go just get a break. Any of those things, there's so many. It's like, I guess if I imagine what it's like to be on your deathbed and those last moments of your life or like the flashes going across your memory, I have so many like that I'm hoping that that'll be it. Like that's what I'll think about when it's my time to go. Oh, it's just this tiny little moments that I could have never ever had if we
Hmm.
weren't together. They just couldn't
Hmm.
have possibly existed. They could not have. I don't know. I see it when especially when we travel. I love to travel with my kids and I love just taking pictures of the three of them together and having those moments of them laughing and talking and hearing the laughter, and it's just that I don't know how else to say it. I have lots of snapshots in real life and snapshots in my mind of those just sweet moments that could never have existed outside of homeschooling.
Hmm. And you can't plan them.
Hmm.
No,
It's what happens because homeschooling's a lifestyle.
it's totally organic. What about you, Michelle? Do you have one memory?
I have one, and it's probably more of a in retrospect. I mean, I have all those little ones usually around books and being able to read together with them and developing that language that you just develop when you read the same books. But looking back, it happened to be the Thanksgiving of 2020. And I only know how special it was because remember at the time they're all telling you, be careful, don't get together with family because you want to make
Mhm.
sure they're with you next year. But my stubborn streak was like, you can't, make sure we're all together next year anyway. We don't control life and death here, people. And of course, we still gathered. We had my parents, all the kids were around, and an uncle. And it was one of the best Thanksgivings because the next Thanksgiving, my dad wasn't with us because
Mm.
he had passed away. But there was lots of conversations at the table. But my sweetest moment was they started getting talking about politics, and one by one, a child would drift away from the table. And suddenly, and I may have kind of been the first with the youngest child of like, yeah, we don't need to hear this. And so we were in my room. Suddenly, all 5 of my kids are in my room, sitting on the floor in a circle, and we're all just talking together, not about politics. But
Mm.
that relationship, and they all came there because they wanted to be with one another. And that is priceless. It's priceless that they have one another, that they want to know one another, that they support one another. They call one another now as adults. And I still have 2 at home, but knowing that their older siblings are checking on them, there's nothing better.
That reminds me of a saying that I love, and it says something like, when my kid gets in trouble, I don't want them to think, man, my mom's going to kill me. I want them to think, man, I need to call my mom.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's what I want. I want that in their heart, that I'm a
Mhm.
safe place and I'm always there for them. Yeah.
Mhm. And the beauty is you hear it in each one of you, is you are your kid's biggest fan, each one of your children, and that you can hear it in the relationship you have with one another and the stories we tell one another that we're our kids want us around. Phew. But also, it was the time, it was the energy, and it was the love we poured into them. It reaps a harvest of blessing. We definitely are all for homeschooling. The relationship matters. It is the biggest joy, and I think in the end, it really is your biggest motivation. And through that, when you look into your child's eyes and see who they are and what they're created for, you'll find ways to make it fun because children are natural learners, but also natural wonderers. That makes sense. They're always looking for what's wonderful and beautiful and good. So look through the world through your child's eyes and you'll see the beauty. Thanks for joining us.
From confused and overwhelmed to confident and thriving, our homeschool coaching helps you find your footing and flourish. Start your transformation with us today in the show notes.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode. We hope that you enjoyed the conversation and found it insightful. Be sure to check out today's show notes for all applicable links and additional resources. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. Your support helps us continue to bring you great content. Until next time, happy homeschooling.